So shear, design for shear is maximum, it occurs near the support. Okay, see, mostly you can see in this beam, in this diagram, this is the simply supported support. Okay, so the crack will happen approximately 45 degrees. So this angle is 45, approximately it occurs 45 degrees. Okay, this is not common 45 degree. It is this angle is depends upon the material and the type of loading, whether it is UDL load or point load. The angle will be varied. Okay, so you know that shear stress is the tangential stress. You can see here, see the arrow marks. So this is the shear force. These are the shear force. So due to the shear force, there will be a shear stress is occur, that is called a tau V. Shear stress. So the tau V is nothing but as per your RCC only. Even in RCC also, the shear stress is tau V only. So here also tau V. Okay. So you can see here in pre-stressed concrete member, the direct stress Fx and Fy. So you can see this is raw Fx and this is all Fy. Okay. So both Fx and Fy being compressive, the magnitude of the principal tensile stress is considerably reduced and in some cases even eliminated. Okay, so that under working loads, both major and minor principal stresses are compressive. So please be remember, in a beam, due to this brittle material and application of the load, the major and minor principal stresses are compressive. Okay, so thereby eliminating the risk of diagonal tension cracks in the concrete. In general, there are three ways of improving the shear resistance of structural concrete member. So these three methods, these are all important 2 or 3 marks. How to improve the shear resistance of structural concrete member. This is applicable both pre-stressed concrete and as well as RCC also. In RCC we already studied, but this is pre-stress. You can see here first point, horizontal or axial pre-stressing. Second, pre-stressing by inclined or sloping cables, and third, vertical or transfer pre-stressing. Okay, so under these 3 methods we can improve the shear. Okay, so I already told there are 2 important methods of failure. First one is flexural failure. You can see here flexural failure. Sorry, not this one, here bottom. So these are all flexural failure. Next, these are all shear failure. So we know that shear force is maximum occurs at the support. So and also it is at the cracks will develop in a diagonal manner. Okay, in a diagonal manner. Okay, so this is all cracks due to shear, and this is crack due to flexure, due to moment, bending moment. Okay, so modes of shear failure. So consider this is the T-beam. You can see here most of the pre-stressed concrete members are like this only. Okay, a flange and web and bottom flange, top flange, bottom flange, and web. Okay, this is the cross section and this is the longitudinal section. Okay, so if a load is applying externally, a live load, so the cracks will develop like this. Okay, so this is the top flange and this is the bottom flange. Okay, so yeah, cracks will develop. So these are all flexural crack, and these are all flexural shear. Sorry, web shear crack. Okay, web shear crack. Okay, and middle it is called a flexural shear cracks. So these 3 types of cracks will occurs. Okay, so there are 2 major modes of shear cracking in pre-stressed concrete beam. They are web shear crack. You can see web shear crack, flexural shear crack, and flexural crack. Okay, so majorly shear means only web shear and flexural shear. They generally started from the interior point when the load load principal tensile stress exceeds the tensile strength of concrete. Okay, so every concrete having some tensile strength. You know that approximately it is approximately equal to 10% of the compressive strength. That means, suppose if you take M40 grade concrete, the tensile strength will be only 4. That means 10% of the 40. What is the 10% of the 40? It is approximately 4. Okay, 40 into 10 by 100 is approximately 4 only. Okay, so this 4 MPa is the tensile strength. Why tensile strength very low in concrete? Because concrete is very less strength in tension, okay, but high strength in compression. Okay, please note down this, we already know. Okay, so it is very, very poor taking load in case of tension, but it have more capacity to withstand compression. Okay, so the flexural shear cracks are initiated or first initiated by flexural cracks in the inclined direction. The flexural shear cracks develops when the combined shear and flexural tensile stress produced a principal tensile stress exceeding the tensile strength of concrete, obviously. Okay, so design of beams for shear. So how to design? What are all the formulas for the design? So before going to this topic, let us see the code book. So all of you please take the code book, page number 32. Page number 32, because formulas, all the formulas are available in this code book. Okay. Is it visible? So students, here you can see class 23.4, limit state of collapse shear. Limit state of collapse shear. So the ultimate shear resistance of the concrete alone. So concrete also having some shear capacity, not that much. So we know that approximately 10% of the compressive strength is that tensile strength of the concrete. Same like shear strength also very, very low. It also approximately 8 to 10% of the compressive strength. Okay. So concrete also having poor capacity to take care of shear load. Okay. So we have to provide adequate shear reinforcement. So the ultimate shear strength of concrete alone is BC. So BC is the shear taken by the concrete. Okay. So should be considered at both direction, both condition, uncracked and cracked in flexure. The lesser value taken and if necessary shear reinforcement is provided. This point is very, very important. So we have to design the section in uncracked in flexure. You can see uncracked in flexure and the next section cracked in flexure. There are two formulas. We have to design uncracked in flexure of the beam and cracked in flexure of the beam. Which one is lesser value? Okay, so in which condition the shear value is very much less? That means shear taken by the concrete is very much less. So that only we have to take as BC. Okay, students clearly understand we have to solve the problem under these two conditions. That means section cracked in flexure, next is section uncracked in flexure and section cracked in flexure. We have two formulas, VC0 and VCR. So when this under this two condition, which value we got very, very less, that value is the final BC value. Okay, so now we will discuss section uncracked in flexure. So the ultimate shear resistance of the section uncracked in flexure. So VC is equal to VC0 is given by VC naught equal to 0.67 BD root of FT square plus 0.8 FCP into FT. So now notations where B is equal to breadth of the member, for which T, I and L beam should be replaced by breadth of the rib. So rib or web. Okay. For rectangular section, you can directly take breadth. But in case of web, T beam, you have to take the breadth of the web. Next, capital D is the overall depth of the member. Not effective depth. You can see it is the capital W, not small w. So small w is nothing but effective depth, but capital W is nothing but overall depth. Next, FT. FT is the maximum principal tensile stress is given by 0.24 root FCK. So for FT we have one formula, 0.24 root FCK. So what is FCK? FCK is the grade of the concrete. Grade of the concrete. Okay. Next, FCP. FCP is the compressive stress at centroidal axis. Okay, compressive stress at centroidal axis. Okay. So in flanged members where the centroidal axis occurs in the flange, the principal tensile stress should be limited to 0.24 root HK. At the intersection of the flange web in this calculation, 0.8 times of the stress due to pre-stress at this intersection may be used in calculating BC naught. So we have to use 0.24 FCK. That's all. For a section uncracked in flexure and with inclined tendons or vertical pre-stress, the component of pre-stressing force normal to the longitudinal axis of the member may be added to BC naught. Okay, that means the tendons are inclined or vertical means we have to add the pre-stressing force in the BC naught. Okay, so next we will see the sections cracked in flexure. Okay, so BC equal to VCR. So VCR is equal to, we have one formula, that is 1 minus 0.55 FPE divided by FP into tau C. Students, this is tau. Okay, tau C. Tau C we can take from this table, design shear strength or shear stress. There are two names are there for tau C. Tau C is called shear stress actually, but in IS code they use design shear strength of concrete. So in terms of Newton per mm square. So this is as per your RCC design, same as RCC design. So tau C BD plus m naught into V by m. So let us see one by one. What is this notations? So FPE is equal to effective pre-stress after all losses. Effective pre-stress after all losses have occurred, which shall not be taken as greater than 0.6 FP. Okay, it should not greater than 0.6 FP. Next, FP is equal to characteristic strength of pre-stressing steel. Next, tau C. Tau C is the ultimate shear stress capacity of concrete obtained from table 8. So you can see this is your table 8. Okay, you can take the values based on the concrete date. You have to take from the table. Next, B is equal to breadth of the member. Small d is the effective depth of the member. What is m naught? M naught is moment necessary to produce zero stress in the concrete at the depth is given by m naught. So for m naught we have one formula. M naught is equal to 0.8 FPT I by Y. So I is the, we know that moment of inertia and Y is the centroidal axis. What is FPT? FPT is just stress due to pre-stress only. Okay. Next, V and M. Shear force and bending moment respectively are the section considered due to ultimate loads. Okay. Next, VCR should be taken as not less than 0.1 BD root FCK. So this VCR value, you should be greater than the 0.1 BD root FCK under this. So first we have to take the formula, calculate VCR, and also you have to consider this formula also. Okay, which one is greater? That one value you have to take, because it should not be less than the 0.1 BD FCQ. Suppose this value is less, means you have to take this value. Okay, this value greater than means you don't consider this value. Okay, students. The value of VCR calculated at a particular section may be assumed to be constant for a distance equal to d by 2, measured in the direction of increasing moment from the particular section. For a section cracked in flexure and with inclined tendons, the component of precessing force normal to the longitudinal axis of the member should be ignored. Okay, so the for inclined tendons or component of precessing force normal to the longitudinal axis of the member should be ignored in case of cracked in flexure. That we will discuss in the problem. Okay, so next, how to design the reinforcement. So for the design of reinforcement, we need this condition. So when B exceeds VC, that means so actual shear force is exceeding the VC, means that means shear carried by the concrete. Okay, so already concrete having some shear resistance, but due to the externally applied load, that shear will be maximum, means suppose the due to that shear load is 100 kilonewton will come, but shear resistance of the concrete is 75 kilonewton. But actual shear load, that means due to the external load, due to the live load and dead load, the shear load is 100 kilonewton, but actual shear resistance of the concrete is 75 kilonewton, means the structure will fail in shear. So because why? Because balance 25 kilonewton is there. So we have to design for the 25 kilonewton. That means balance shear force. So this is your balance shear force. That means B minus BC. B is nothing but the external shear load, and BC is nothing but the shear resistance by the concrete. So ASV divided by SV equal to B minus BC divided by 0.87 into Fi into dt. This is the formula. In rectangular beams at both corners in the tensile zone, a stirrup should be passed around a longitudinal bar. A tendon or a group of tendons having diameter not less than the diameter of the stirrup. Okay, the depth dt is taken as the depth from the extreme compression fiber, either in the longitudinal bars or to the centroid of the tendons, whichever is greater. Next, spacing limit. Okay, so for this shear reinforcement, we have to use normal Fe 415 grade steel only. Okay, so the spacing of stirrups along a member should not exceed 0.75 dt. So this also same as like your RCC. In RCC, we are providing shear reinforcement in vertical stirrups. Okay, so this also same like. So it should not exceed 0.75 dt, nor 4 times the web thickness for planged members. When B exceeds 1.8 times of BC, the maximum spacing should be reduced to 0.5 dt. Under what condition? The B exceeds 1 times of BC. The lateral spacing of the individual legs of the stirrups provided at a cross section should not exceed 0.75 dt. Okay, lateral spacing means horizontal bar spacing. Okay, so students, from this IS code page number 32, 33, 34, you clearly understand how to calculate shear and how to calculate the shear reinforcement. Okay, so in case of B is less than VC, so this formula is B is greater than VC. B exceeds VC. Suppose B less than VC means we have to use minimum shear reinforcement. This formula we already seen in RCC, same formula. The minimum shear reinforcement formula ASB divided by BSB equal to 0.4 divided by 0.87 F5. So using this formula, you can easily form. Okay. So students, once you go through this page number 32, limit state of collapse shear. So section cracked in flexure, section uncracked in flexure, and minimum shear reinforcement, and the minimum shear reinforcement required formula and spacing limit formula. 32, 33, 34 page number. Okay, so this is very simple topic, and problems also very less. Okay, so I think all of you understand the shear formulas. Okay, students, now we will move to the PPT. Now students, you can see design of beam for shear. So whatever we discussed just now in the code book, same formula I written here. Okay, so VC naught and cracked in flexure, uncracked in flexure, minimum shear reinforcement, and spacing, everything. Okay, so let us see first problem, how to design. So the first problem is a very simple problem using rectangular section. Okay, students. So now I will read the question. The support section of a pre-stressed concrete beam 100 mm wide and 250 mm deep. So it's a rectangular beam. You can see here a rectangular beam. So this is 250 mm size and depth. Sorry students. So breadth is 100 mm. Breadth is 100. This is 100. And depth is 250. Okay, so it is required to support ultimate shear force 150 kilonewtons. So the ultimate shear force is, ultimate means what? Okay, ultimate means after multiplying the partial septic factor. So you don't need to multiply again 1.5. So already multiply. So factored, designer, ultimate, all are same mean. Okay, so in the question, first you observe what is the load is given, whether it is factored load, design load, ultimate load, ultimate shear. Like that dimension means don't multiply 1.5. You can directly take. Next, the compressive pre-stress at the centroidal axis is 5 MPa. Okay, use M40 grade concrete and Fe415 steel for stirrups. The concrete cover of shear reinforcement is 50 mm. Design the suitable shear reinforcement. So we have to design the suitable shear reinforcement. Okay. So next, section uncracked in flexure. Okay. So in this problem, first we have to find, they didn't mention actually. So in some problem they mentioned section cracked in flexures. Suppose section uncracked in flexure. So here in this problem, I assumed section uncracked in flexure because mostly we know that in case of pre-stressed concrete beam, structure should not crack because all the portions are subjected to pure compression. So in this problem, I assumed that section is not cracked. So we have to apply the section uncracked in flexure formula. So VC naught equal to 0.67 BD root FT square plus 0.8 FCP into FT. So what is FT formula? We quote in the code book, we see it is 0.24 root FCK. So what is FCK? It is 40. That means grade of the concrete. So 0.24 into root 40 is equal to 1.52 Newton per mm square. Okay, students. So this is the formula. Okay. So now VC naught, substitute all the values in the VC naught formula. So 0.67 into BD. What is B? Breadth of the beam is 100 and the depth of the beam is 250. So substitute all the values. 0.67 into B is 100 and D is 250. It is the cross section of the beam. So this is BD is the cross section of the beam into root of FT square is 1.52 square plus 0.8 into FCP is the compressive stress. Okay, due to pre-stress into FT is 1.52. So how much you got? 48.52 10 power 3 Newton. So it is in Newton. You converted into kilonewton means this 10 power 3 get cancelled. That means divided by 1000. So we got 48.52 kilonewton. So students, now you can understand. So this much amount of force is resisted by concrete itself. It's resisted by concrete itself. So, but you can see here, due to the external load, how much shear is produced? 150 kilonewton. Okay. So 150 kilonewton is produced, applied in that concrete beam. But the concrete beam is resisted only 48. That means 48.52 kilonewton only. Okay. So this beam is not safe. Okay. So the externally coming shear is 150. But the concrete shear resistance is only 48. You can compare 48 is where it is there, 150 where it is there, nearly 3 times. Okay, so that this beam is not safe, we have to design the shear reinforcement. You have to write this statement. So since BC naught is less than BU, BC naught is less than BU. What is this meaning? Means shear resisted by concrete is less than the ultimate shear force. That is the meaning. BC naught less than BU. Therefore, shear reinforcement is to be provided using two-legged 8 mm diameter vertical stirrups. So here I am using 8 mm diameter. Okay. So apply in this formula. Apply in this formula. So what are the things we must know? ASB. ASB is the vertical stirrups area. So two-legged. So that 2. Okay, 2 legs are there. So in case of, you can see here the shear reinforcement. This is the shear reinforcement. So we provided like this. This is hook. So you can see this is 1 leg. This is 1 leg. So 2 legs. So 2 leg into pi by 4 into d square. Diameter of the bar is 8. So we got 100.53 mm square. Okay. So now substitute all the known values here. ASB is 100.53. SP is nothing but spacing of the steps. That only we must know. Next, BU minus BC naught. BE is 150. It is given in the question. Ultimate shear force. BC naught is the 48.52. Okay, into 10 power 3. We converted in terms of Newton per mm square. Sorry, Newton. Okay, it is in the kilonewton. We converted in terms of Newton. Okay. Divided by 0.87 into F5. F5, what is the grade of concrete? We have to use 415. Here, student, one small correction is there. This is not 450. This is 415. Okay, please make correction. It is 415 into dt. dt is the, what is dt? How to calculate dt? Students, here you can see dt is the effective depth. So overall depth of the beam is 250. And cover is 50 mm. Clear cover is 50 mm. So 250 minus 50, how much? So we need only effective depth. So overall depth minus effective cover is the effective depth. So 50 mm, 250 minus 50, it is 200 mm. So we got spacing of vertical stirrups is 77.6 mm. 77.6 mm. So this is the answer. So approximately we can use 77 mm. So reduced value 77 mm center to center. So don't increase. This is the minimum value needed. Okay, 77.6 mm. Okay. So 77.6 we have to you can round off in the minimum value. So it is 77 mm center to center. Students, all of you understand the first problem? This is the very easiest problem. and 10 marks problem also. If you have any doubt, ask me now. I will give 1 minute time. So first write the formula in the second problem. Post tension simply supporter problem. VC naught is equal to 0.67 BD root of FT square plus 0.8 FCP into FT. Okay. So write the first to find FT. Okay. What is the FT formula? We know that it is FT is equal to 0.24 into root FCK. Okay. This formula available in the code book. So we got 1.52. Next, write the formula. VC naught is equal to 0.67 B into D. That means 200 into 300 into root of 1.52 square plus 0.8 into 5 into 1.52. So this pi is compressive stress and 1.52 is the FT value. So now VC naught is 116.4 kilonewton. But what is BU? So V is 180 kilonewton. Okay, 180 kilonewton. So this is 180. This is 116. Okay, so therefore VU is greater than VC naught. VU is greater than VC naught. So we have to provide the shear reinforcement. Okay, so under this condition we have to provide the shear reinforcement. So what is the shear reinforcement formula? ASV divided by SP equal to V minus VC naught divided by 0.87 Fi dt. Okay, so ASV is 2 into, so since 2-legged 8 mm dia stirrups we are using, so therefore 2 into pi into 8 square divided by 4, we got 100.5. So substitute the value. 100.5 divided by SP is equal to what is BU minus VC naught? It is 1 BU value, it is given in the question. Okay, that means ultimate shear acting on the beam. It is 180 minus what is VC naught? It is 116.4. So convert in terms of Newton, kilonewton to Newton, we have to multiply by 10 power 3 divided by 0.87 into Fy. This is Fy 415 grade and dt. dt is the effective depth. What is effective depth? So effective depth is 300 minus 50. So capital D. What is capital D? We know that capital D is nothing but the overall depth. So 300 minus effective cover is 50. So 300 minus 50, it is 250 mm. So substitute the value. We know that SV, that means spacing of the strips, we got 142. So you round up into the lower value, 140 mm center to center. This is this strip spacing. And what is the maximum spacing of strips? We know that it is 0.75 times of dt. So 0.75 times is dt is only 187.5 mm. Okay, so SP value is less than this 187.5 mm. So we have to provide 140 mm only. Okay, so you can see here, students. So we are providing 2-legged 8 mm dia strips, 140 mm center to center. So now what this diagram indicates means, so where shear is maximum near the support. So near at the middle of the beam, we won't provide the same stirrups. That means stirrup spacing. We have to reduce. So how to reduce? You can see here, this is the shear force diagram. So maximum shear is 180 kilonewton. At middle it is 0 because middle bending moment is maximum, but shear is 0. So approximately you can see here in this triangle, this is the half of the distance, nearly half of the distance. We have to reduce the shear reinforcement. That means spacing. Okay, so how to calculate the shear reinforcement distance? See, mostly it is half of that. Okay, approximately 5 meter only. So exactly we have to find out means we have to use the similar triangle principle. That means for 180 kilonewton it is 10 meter. For 116 kilonewton, what is this x distance? Similar triangle principle. From similar triangle, x by 10. X by 10 equal to 116 divided by 180. We got x equal to 6.4 meter. So that provide two-legged 8 mm dia steps at 180 mm center to center for 6.4 meter on either side, and the remaining leg provide two-legged 8 mm dia steps at 140 mm center to center. Okay, student. Okay, so where this 116 kilonewton came, 116 kilonewton. So this 116 kilonewton we taken from this. That means BC naught value. Okay, so in that portion, that means section and cracked end fracture. That means shear carried by the concrete is 116 kilonewton. Okay, but shear is maximum at the support. We have to provide the closer stirrups. That means 140 mm center to center at this end, and we have to provide the minimum shear reinforcement at this 116 kilonewton onwards. Okay, so for that only we have to find the x value. So based on that, draw the diagram. So once you go through this two problem, you can clearly understand. Okay, students.